Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
Okay, we're going to begin here. We're on Daf Ayin, which is Chelik Beis, Perek Vav, Oz Gimel. And we're talking about the bris ahava of Shabbos. Shabbos has halachos. Shabbos has dinim. But Shabbos is much deeper than just halachos or dinim. Shabbos is ahava between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. The Gemara in Shabbos says that Hashem has a gift that he wants to give to Klal Yisrael. He told Moshe, Matana toiva yesh li bebeis genazai. I have a beautiful gift, a beautiful, amazing gift. Shabbos Shemoy. Shabbos. It's an amazing gift. Who do you give a gift to? You give a gift to somebody you care about. You give a gift to somebody who you have a closeness to them. That's who you give a gift to. Or somebody you want to have a close relationship with. That's who you give a gift to. So Hashem says, I have a gift. I have a beautiful gift. You know what that gift is? Shabbos. Shabbos is a bris ahava. How do we get that? How do we get that? Hashem has given it to us already. But how do we enjoy that gift? You know, imagine somebody gives you a gift. Let's say it's a very, very expensive electronic item that can do all kinds of funny things. I don't know. Yeah, in a kosher way, of course. Yeah, right? So Hashem also gives us a gift. So let's say this person gives you a gift, and you don't know what the gift is. You don't know anything. So you know what you do? You look at it. It looks like very fancy. Must be, it's a nutcracker. I'm going to use it to crack nuts. So you take this really expensive electronic item and you start smashing nuts with it. You're like, what are you, crazy? What are you doing? What do you mean? You gave me a gift. Yeah, but you don't know. You don't understand that that's not what this is.
My best good friend, for his birthday, 2 large packages, one for milk, one for inflation.
Right.
So they could make it on lunch, not to eat off the counter, which they complain about. They complained to me about eating too much. I said, I have a long package for a birthday. Cover. I use one of them as a postcard.
You're using the wrong thing. You're using it for the wrong thing. We don't know how to use Shabbos the right way. We don't know how to appreciate the gift that Hashem gave us. So then we look at it as a burden. We look at it, it's not a bris ahava. It's hard. I can't do all the fun things that I want to do. No, it's a bris ahava. It's a gift HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave. But how do we appreciate that? How do we learn to do that? So that's where we are here in Oz Gimel on Daf Ayin. Heichan munach b'Shabbos bris ahava. Where do we see that connection of love between Klal Yisrael and Kadosh Baruch Hu through Shabbos? It also comes from the chiddush of the world, of the yesh me'ayin. And he goes on to explain. I'm not going to read every point, but we know that Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world. We know that Kadosh Baruch Hu created everything from nothing, yesh me'ayin. And Kadosh Baruch Hu, if there's an existence in the world, he means Kadosh Baruch Hu wants you to be here. It means he has an interest in you being alive. Nothing here exists in this universe without Hashem wanting it to live. HaKadosh Baruch Hu renews. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is actively giving every single person life.
The appropriate then birthday present.
Yeah.
For a birthday suffering, Hashem.
Yeah, we're saying, Hashem, thank you for giving me another year.
No, this was the day where Hashem said to Lord.
But every day is like that. That's why we say brachos every day, thanking Hashem for our lives.
I'm saying, but on this day, Hashem decides to won't take this down.
That's right. Hashem wants me here, right here.
No, on the bus.
Yeah, but it's really every day. That's what I'm saying. It's more than it's every day. We thank Hashem for life every day. We say, Hashem, thank you for that I have a breeze, that I can breathe. Elokai nishama shenasata bi kahoirahi. You say, Moida ani lefanecha, that you gave me my neshama back. Every day, thank you. Every single second, Hashem wants me to be here. I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm alive. It means Hashem wants me to be here. That's what it means. I exist because Hashem wants me to be here. The fact that I'm here in the first place is only because Hashem wants me to be here. As we hear at the end of the first paragraph, every moment that you're here is because Hashem wants you here. Means he doesn't forget you, not even 1 second. Every single person is like this. Every single, not just person, every fish, every bird, everybody, everything is because Hashem wants that particular thing here to be in existence. It doesn't matter who you are. But what does matter is if you understand it. If somebody is giving love, if the other person doesn't understand the language, then they don't feel that love. So if somebody is speaking French and they say in French, I don't know how to say I love you in French, but if you say I love you in French and the other person who's listening doesn't know French, then they don't understand what you're saying. Then they don't feel that. They don't feel, but they're expressing it. But it doesn't matter. I don't understand what you mean. So I'm not feeling it. There's no connection. A person can have a ruler. You can be ruled over whether you like it or not, right? In fact, in the history of the world, most of the times people didn't like the rulers that they had. In most cases, in most places. But it doesn't make a difference. You don't have a choice. This is the king, this is the ruler, this is the dictator, this is the president, this is the prime minister, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how much you protest. It is what it is, right? Unless you end up trying to kill the king or something like that, which has also happened. So that's going to be no matter what. A ruler will rule. But when it comes to a connection of love, you can't have one-sided. You could try. One side might love the other, like in our example that we just said, but it's not mutual, and you're not going to have a bris ahava. You're not going to have that connection between the two. Because that's what ahava is. Ahava is the connection. And if you don't have the connection, then you don't have it. One side could be trying very hard. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us, but if we don't love him back, then we don't have that connection. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to make that connection with us. Are we accepting it and giving it back? You know, we say every day in Ma'ariv, the bracha of Avos Olam. Yeah, the bracha of Avos Olam is such a beautiful bracha. If you look at the words, it's such a beautiful. The bracha starts off Avos Olam Beis Yisrael Amcha Hafta. Hashem, you love Klal Yisrael, your nation. It's your nation, and you love us. Do you know how you showed you love us? Torah mitzvahs chukim mishpatim osanu lamata. Do you know how you showed your love to us? You gave us the Torah. That's how you showed it to us. Like the Mosholim that's brought down in Chazal, it's like HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave his daughter to Klal Yisrael. Because you love us. Al Kain, therefore, Hashem El Kain, we are addressing Hashem. Hashem, when we lay down and when we get up, we're going to be talking in your Torah. And we're going to be happy in your Torah. V'nismach b'divrei sorasecha. You're showing us how much you love us by giving your Torah, and we're going to show you right back how much we love you by being oisik in your Torah, by being so happy in your Torah, in your mitzvahs. Kihem chayenu, because that's our whole life. Our whole life is that connection to you. Our whole life is that bris ahava with you. Hem chayenu v'orech yameinu v'hem negayom amalayla. And then what do we ask at the end? We ask Hashem, Aboscha, the love that you have for us. Al tasi mimenu lo lamim. Please never end that love. Never end that love. Baruch atah Hashem, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Such a beautiful tefillah. How much Hashem loves us. And the bris ahava that we see Shabbos, like we started off in the beginning of this year, it's a beautiful, beautiful gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Klal Yisrael. But we have to appreciate it. If we appreciate Shabbos, then we're going to feel that connection. Bris ahava, at the very bottom of Daf Ayin. Bris ahava is a davar she'efshar lahachriach likoif. You can't force somebody to have a bris ahava. You can't force anybody. She'echol lavo rak mikoyach ratzon. It can only come if you want it. You have to want that connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to want it, and then we can accept the gift. If somebody doesn't want that kesher, you can get 1,000,000 gifts. It doesn't mean anything. Sometimes it just makes you feel guilty. Or might even make you feel angry. I don't want the connection. What are you giving me things for? But if you want that connection, then the gift makes that connection. Gifts are very powerful things. I mean, the person gives a gift, it lightens the relationship. It makes the relationship happier. We see it from Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu was scared. His twin brother, born a few minutes before him, is out coming to meet him after more than 20 years, more than 30 years. He hasn't seen him, and he's scared he's going to kill him. So do you know what he does? Sends him gifts. We got to send him gifts. We got to sweeten things up a little bit over here. Send him gifts. Another gift, another gift, another gift. Lighten it up a little bit. You are, after all, my brother, aren't you? You are my brother. So if there's a connection, so when a person gets a gift, wow, that makes it stronger. שגם אם תוימה רע נע כמה השם יזברך אוהב אותך. שדבק אליך כל רגע לטיבך לתת לך מציאות. You say to yourself, look how much Hashem loves me. Hashem every second is giving me life. Every second is giving me air to breathe. מכל מקום על ahava אי אפשר להכריח. You could say, yes, true. It's true. Hashem gives me everything. But I don't care. I don't have to love him. I heard a great shir once from Rabbi Klapper. He said an amazing vart. Amazing. I was mamish blown away by this vart. He said, you know what the difference between Avraham Avinu and Nimrod was? It's a Rashi. It's a Rashi in Parshas Noach, I believe it was. Rashi says, or maybe it's the end of Bereshis. Rashi says, no, it's not Bereshis, it's Noach. Rashi says that Nimrod was makir as boiro. He understood who his creator was, and he dafka went against him. Dafka. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So I heard a great idea on this point from Rabbi Klapper. He said, you know what the difference between Avraham Avinu and Nimrod was? They both had the same hakara of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Amazing thing. Avraham Avinu had an amazing understanding of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but he said Nimrod also had this understanding of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He knew that there was a creator, and he knew that the creator can in a second just strike him down, and that's it. It's all over. Could end his life in a second. He knew that. Nimrod knew that just as much as Avraham Avinu knew it. He was makir his boy, but he was dafka against, meaning that Avraham Avinu was makir his boy. He saw there's a Rebbeinu Shloim. He saw that there's a creator of the world, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world and has control over everything, and I'm only here because of him. And Avraham Avinu said, if all that is true, then I'm going to serve my creator. It must be that there's a reason why I'm here. I have bechira. I am choosing to serve my creator. You know what Nimrod said? There was a creator. The creator, he does everything in this world, created everything, and he gave me free choice. He gave me bechira to serve him or to not serve him. And I'm going to not serve him. I'm b'dafka not going to serve him. I'm going to rebel against him. It's amazing. Amazing to think that somebody could be on such a level to understand such a thing and purposely not. And that was Nimrod, based on the Rashi in Parshas Noach. I recognize. I know you're my ruler, but it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Doesn't mean I have to love it. Klal Yisrael says, there's a creator, you created me, you sustained me, but I want more than that. I want to have a relationship. That can't be forced. Like we see the difference between Avram and Nimrod. Nimrod, you can't force me. You can't force me to like it. I'll admit that it's true, but you can't force me to like it. And I'm going to do everything I can to go against it. And if you want to strike me down, that's up to you. You could do that. You could end my life in a second. You could stop everything this moment. And there are a lot of people like that. They recognize, and you see throughout the history of the world, it's like that. Haman, before he decided on the hanging of Mordechai, the Medrash tells us he had a big meeting. Even before that, he had a meeting before that. He had a lot of advisors, Haman. You know, he was really, really thought out, and he knew world history very, very well. And so did his advisors. And even before he came on to this whole plan to destroy the Jewish people, he first discussed it with his advisors. And he said to the advisors, and specifically the top advisor, Zeresh, his wife, right? He said, I want to destroy the Jewish people. And they said back, are you crazy? Are you nuts? What's wrong with you? Don't you understand you're not the first person in the world to try to do such a thing? It never turned out good for anybody. Paro tried to do it. Lavan tried to do it. Nebuchadnezzar tried to do it. Sancheriv tried to do it. There's so many that tried to do it, Haman. Don't you know it doesn't work? And the one who tried to do it always end up on the bottom. It's not Kedai. And Haman eventually convinced them all, no. It's gonna be okay. This time it's going to be different. Well, obviously it wasn't different this time, but he convinced everybody that it was, and he went through with his plan. And the same thing with Mordechai. He said, we got to do something about Mordechai now. We got to get rid of him right now. Well, how are we going to do it? So his advisor said again, what are you going to do? You're going to throw him into a fire? But don't you know that already his ancestors, Avraham Avinu, and already just now, not so long ago, Hanani, Mishael, Azari were thrown into a fire, and according to the Midrash, even Zechariah Cohen was thrown into a fire, and they were all saved. You're going to think you're going to throw Mordechai into a fire and kill him? Crazy? You want to throw him into the ocean, into the water? Don't you know? They threw, Paro wanted to throw them into the water also. You see what happened to them? The babies were saved. Klal Yisrael went through the Yam. You think you're going to win by throwing him into a fire? And they went one by one through all the different ways of killing him. Right? They're different. I don't remember each. I don't remember each point in the Medrash. But finally, they came to hanging. Then nobody tried that one. That's why we were picking hanging. Right? That's the one. Now, God doesn't have shlita over that one. But they went through every single. Haman, hello, don't you see? This is all a joke, don't you? They recognized that the God of the Jews is much more powerful than you. Don't you know you're not going to win? But yet, Haman fooled himself into thinking that he was still going to win anyway. You can recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but I don't necessarily like it. I don't have to play his game. I can try to go against him. I can try to fight him. I don't have to accept him. And I certainly don't have to love him. Love only comes if you want it. And that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us with Shabbos. He's giving us opportunity for a connection of love. But it's only if we accept it. All existence applies to everybody. Love doesn't apply to everybody. Love only applies to the one who wants to love. And that's what it says over here, on the top of Daf Ayin Aleph. Nimsi shebe'emes. Theoretically, Shabbos could have been for the other ummahs too. They're shaykh to the Chiddush ha'olam yesh me'ayin. They're shaykh to creation too. Hashem keeps them alive also. Amazing. You know? Hashem is keeping this terrorist in Gaza alive. He's keeping, in a second, he could just drop dead. Even better, he could just not exist in the first place. You know, Hitler, Yamach Shemo, survived like 42 assassination attempts. To the point, there was one I read about, there was a bomb that went off like literally right next to him. And he still survived it. There was a bomb on a plane that he was in, and it didn't go off. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can keep anybody alive. Even the biggest Rosh Yishayim in the world. So does that mean anything to you? No. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Is that a reason to serve him? It's a reason to rebel against him. This is a Goyish cup. Yeah? But you can't force it. You can't force it. It has to come out of your own personal ratzon. Shem gamken mechudash mimenu yizbarach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu also gives them life, also keeps them around. Mitzido yizbarach yesh lo gam alehem ahava v'dveikus bli soif. With regards to Hashem giving, Hashem can provide them love too. I mean, there's some reason why you're alive, right? He's giving you life. Haprush al kol metzias. Hashem gives His love to everybody. He provides every creature on this planet or anywhere in the universe with their sustenance. He keeps things going everywhere in the universe. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu came around, he said he wants to give Shabbos. He wants to give the Torah. Shabbos is the entranceway, the gateway to Torah, the gateway to closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like we've discussed in the past. Bris and I want to make a connection with you, the people of the earth. Like the song, you know, he went to America and they said, what is there? Keep it of aim. Oh no, we don't have that over here. Yeah? The Maise, they said, well, we're not interested. They have a schus. The Torah is the Hakim of the whole world. You want it? You want to take the Torah? No. You went to every nation? No. Since you can't force it, you can't force that connection. He didn't force it. Oh, what about Kaf Aleim Hargigas? We'll get to it in a second. First, let's finish up with the Goyim. Yeah? You can't force it. Hashem just says one thing. I want the connection with you. I want to give you my Torah so we connected. And everyone answered no for their own reason. Aval Am Yisrael, Klal Yisrael is different. Amazing what they said, Nasa v'nishma. We're going to do and we're going to listen. They said, we don't have to say, we don't have to ask what's written in it. What? It's dependent on what's written in it. It's a love that's dependent on what's written in the Torah. It's dependent on what's in there. Listen, how many bells and whistles does this toy have that you want to give me? If it doesn't have 84 tregabytes, so then it's not worth it, then you're just cheap, right? I don't need to know what you're giving me. I don't need to know how many bells and whistles there are in this particular car that you're trying to give me as a gift. I don't need to know that. Just the fact I'm alive, just the fact that I'm here, shows me how much you love me. The love, the connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the fact that we are in existence in the first place. We are in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Mekoyma Shel Olam. For sure we want that connection back. You're giving us opportunity to have that personal connection with you. We're in. No matter what. Like the Rav always says. We're in. No matter what. It doesn't matter what's in there. Because I know exactly what I'm getting. I'm getting a connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ela nasa. That's it. I'm in. Okay, now that I'm in, just tell me, what did I sign up for? It doesn't make a difference what I signed up for, but I have to know, because I have to know what to do. I have to know what to do, because obviously there's a reason you're giving me this particular thing, so I have to know what to do. So just get back to our side question. What about, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu have to put the mountain on our heads? We already accepted it. There's a famous kasha that's asked all the time. What do you mean? Hashem, this is a bris ahava. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's very nice. We said yes already. Why are you putting the mountain on me? So there are many different answers. We could just say one, and that is there has to be an aspect of yira as well. We need to have yira and ava. Here in our discussion, we're going to stick with ava for now, but there has to be an aspect of yira of HaKadosh Baruch Hu as well. And therefore, there had to be kaf aleim hargedidius as well. Okay, we're going to leave it to the side for now. That's good enough for today. Once we have that bris of ava, once we have that connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, nobody else is allowed in. Once you have a special kesher with somebody, nobody else is allowed to butt in, stick their nose into somebody else's business. In the next paragraph, starting in Ois Dalet, he brings a moshel. We're in the middle of the paragraph that he brings, this is from a Yalkut. Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba. Noyig sheba'olam melech u'matronish yoishim masichen zeim zeh. The king and his matrono, I guess is some kind of his baroness or his duchess, but it really means his wife over here, right? Are they sitting and talking with each other? Misha bo machnis roisha beineim. Somebody sticks their nose between them. Eino chayv misa. Isn't such a person going to be chayv misa? You dare interrupt between a private conversation between the king and the queen? Are you crazy? What are you must be absolutely out of your mind to do such a thing. Shabbos is that way. Shabbos is that connecting point. That's that love between HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's the sign of that love between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. Shenemar beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oisi. Only between me and Klal Yisrael. It's a special siman. Lefikach goy sheba umachnis atma b'neiim chayv misa. That's why a goy comes to try to keep Shabbos is chayv misa. Hainu shesiba shlilas aku me'ashabbos imachmas bris ahava bein HaKadosh Baruch Hu lama. This is why that a goy that comes to keep Shabbos. I'm sorry. That's why a goy has to be negated from Shabbos. That he doesn't have this right to this love between HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He doesn't have a kesher to it. Here in the next paragraph, he brings that the mitzvah of Shabbos wasn't given before Hesia. The whole Torah was given before Hesia, but not Shabbos. Shabbos was given b'tzina. Shenemar beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oyisi li'olam. It's only between the two of us. Only between us. That's what Shabbos is. It's private. Hu yichud bein Hashem yizbarach la'am kodshoi Misimcha som lo yis'ariv zar. Nobody else can get involved. Nobody else can come into Shabbos. Goyim don't have that kesher. And the ending off here, the Rapinkus makes this a little bit. He takes this in the Lamaisa now. It sounds like this year so far has been a very beautiful about the kesher between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. And over here at the end, he takes this Lamaisa, and Mamish is going to be a little bit tough. The last part over here. We're here on the top of Daf Ayin Beis. V'gam hilchos Shabbos mishkafot et ma'imid hayichud. Even in hilchos Shabbos, we can see this idea of the kesher hayichud ben HaKadosh Baruch Hu and kol echad miYisrael. B'zeh sheb'Shabbos nesra hakriya b'sefer o b'igeres. That which on Shabbos is also to read a non-Torah-dik book or a letter. Milvad v'divrei Torah v'tzorech nefesh. Only something that a person needs to live or divrei Torah. Ha'umnam yisoid ha'isr l'kro b'shtarei hedyot. The isr to read shtarei hedyot, meaning things that are not related to either Torah or tzorech nefesh. Hu gezeira shema yichtav asakov. It's a gezeira, meaning me'ikra din. It's a din d'rabbanim, so the person's not going to come to write. Aval be'emes, but in reality, there's a great, deep idea over here, which gets into the hashkafa of what is Shabbos. Shabbos is man yichud ben Hashem Yisborach v'amo. It's a special time, a special private time between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. Just like a husband and wife, even they have a lot of kids running around, it's hard. They need to have private time with each other. They need to have separate time. That they're not answering a question from a child, not getting up to take care of this. They need to have their own time with each other. You shouldn't be involved in anything else besides for this kedusha of Shabbos, this kesher. The way we talk, what we talk about. It says davar discussing things that aren't Shabbosdik on Shabbos. Even it was hard even to matir to say hello to somebody on Shabbos, because what are we supposed to be talking about on Shabbos? What are we supposed to be talking about? We're supposed to be only with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's it. Nothing else should be coming in between. Like the mashal we just said before of the melech matrona sheyoshim masichim zeh, the husband and wife, the king and queen who are talking with each other. That if somebody else comes in, a goy comes in, he's chayv misa, he's ruining that intimate kesher. Kol shekain im hamatroina atma, for sure. If the queen herself tafsiket sichasa, she stops talking to the king, im hamelech v'tasuchim zulas, and she starts talking to somebody else. V'lo binyani kedushaso, something completely random, something completely different. She's talking to somebody else. She's in the middle of a private discussion with the king. A very intimate discussion with the king, and all of a sudden she just turns to somebody else and starts talking about narishkeit. How much does that take away? It happens many times. Person finds that he has free time on Shabbos. Free time. I don't have free time the rest of the week. I'm so busy at my work. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. There's so many things to do. Shabbos is my only quiet time. For whatever reason, he finds that he can't take advantage of the time the way it could be. The Torah avoida, by learning Torah or being involved in other avodas. He already took his nap, sleeping on Shabbos. Also, in the Shabbos it says Rosh Tebus, Sheina b'Shabbos Tainug. They're supposed to be person is supposed to have Onig Shabbos, and sleeping is part of that Onig. Even say about the Arizal that he slept on Shabbos, even for longer than what would seem to be the amount that would be regular. So sleeping on Shabbos certainly a person can do. But then there's other free time, especially during the summer. And he doesn't seem like having anything to do. And he says to himself, I'm not learning anyway now. What's the big deal? I'll read something else. Besides the fact that it might be din is bittul Torah. He might be reading something that might be outright usher to read legamri, even during the week. Even put all that aside, yesh b'zeh b'miyucha b'Shabbos heres v'churban al kol avir ha'kedusha u'matzah b'yichud sheyesh b'Shabbos mikoyach noras ha'kedusha zayo. It takes away from that special relationship that a person can have on Shabbos, the kedusha of Shabbos. Aval im yoshev ki yoshin domi v'choyshev la'atzmo. If a person sits and he thinks to himself, ani kori b'davar zeh mipnei shachshav Shabbos ve'eni mishtate b'sicha b'teila zu mipnei shachshav Shabbos. A person says to himself, I'm not going to read this. Do you know why? Because it's Shabbos. And I'm not going to say those things. Do you know why? Because it's Shabbos. As hadveikus hanoira shel Shabbos chal olam memela. Then he can have that dveikus of Shabbos. Again, Shabbos, unlike other holidays where you have to do something, you have to do. Shabbos you don't have to do. Shabbos you don't do. And let Hashem bring the kedusha on you. So if a person says, I'm not going to do those things, I'm not going to do the things that are going to separate me from the kedusha of Shabbos, then memela you get the kedusha of Shabbos. Just because of the day. And because of the mitzvah of remembering Shabbos. I'm saying this is a great eitzah. It's not the easiest thing in the world, especially for people who are already used to doing other things on Shabbos. But it's a great eitzah to really appreciate Shabbos more, to focus the day to be doing things that are Shabbosdik, meaning keeping Hilchos Shabbos k'mashma'o, and understand this is a special day, and I want to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu on this day. So what am I going to do? Can I sleep? Absolutely, you can
Take
sleep.
a walk.
You can take a walk. Be mitayel is also an oneg. But to do things that take myself away from that kedusha, because I have free time, it takes us away from Shabbos. It takes us away from the kedusha, from that connection about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to have that love for us on Shabbos. So here we have a beautiful eitzah. We already discussed once about focusing on working on our emunah on Shabbos. And here, that's the asay tov, and here's the asur merah. Try not to do things that aren't involved with Shabbos. The person will mele feel Shabbos more. Okay, we're going to stop over here.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Eli Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.